Hi everyone, John Wascavage here. Welcome to our 9th episode of Codes Clips. Last month I talked to you about headroom going downstairs. This month I'm going to talk to you a little bit about treads and risers of stairs and their requirements and the differences between the International Code and the Pennsylvania Code. Now, some of the requirements, well, first of all, let's talk about treads. What is a tread? A tread is the portion of the stairs where you step on here, and the riser is the back end of the tread vertically. So there's minimum requirements and maximum requirements for treads and risers. Now, stairs has a history. The first known set of stairs to man is over 4,500 years ago, and it was discovered in 1911 in the excavation site of Mohenjo-Daro in present-day Pakistan. So I have a picture. Let's go to this picture here so you can get a good look of the oldest known set of stairs to man. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the ancient ruins of Mohenjo-Daro in Pakistan. Now, major excavations occurred here up until 1979, and this ancient structure was discovered during the excavations in the 1920s. Now, it's called the Great Bath, and the people who lived back then, it's believed that they used it for ritual bathing. So let's take a look here of those stairs, one of the oldest set of stairs known to man. So the bath is 897 square feet, and it's 8 feet deep and made of fine brickwork. It's construction back in those days. Okay, so there's a picture of one of the oldest set of stairs known to man, 4,500 years old. So let's get to our measurement here. These treads and risers in this new house. I mentioned before that there's some differences in the International Code and the Pennsylvania Code. One being with the treads, the minimum tread in the International Code is minimum of 10 inches, nose to nose. In Pennsylvania, they made a change. They made an amendment that the minimum tread nose to nose is 9 inches. So let's do a measurement. What do I mean by nose to nose? Right here, we take our measurement here from the nosing of this tread above, and we bring it all the way down here, and that's where we start our measurement for this minimum requirement. And as you can see, it's over 9 inches, nearly 10. That passes inspection for the treads. Now with the risers, the International Code, the maximum riser is 7 3/4 of an inch. Pennsylvania made an amendment to that as well, where the maximum rise could be 8 1/4 inch. So let's do a measurement here. You can see it's 7 1/2 inches and 7 1/2 inches. And you want to stay consistent going up the stairs. The code does give some leeway of 3/8 of an inch with the treads and the risers. And the reason for, I just want to talk to you about the reason for the change in Pennsylvania. Some smaller dwellings, such as townhouses, were having some problems with the landing at the bottom. So what the increase of the riser and the shortness of the tread will actually bring your steps back making them a little steeper, but you'll end up with that, with more room at the bottom. Like I said, it helps smaller dwellings out, like smaller townhouses. So that's the reason for that change. So let's go to Sam. He's across the township. Let's go see what he's taking a look at.
Hey guys, we're going to be talking about another section of the code, protecting pipes from physical damage. As you can see, what we have here is a brand new bathroom that they're building in this house. The toilet's over here, the vanity's going to be over here, and here's their plumbing stack that they're going to be tying into. The plumbing has to run through the studs, so keep in mind this is going to be finished. The drywaller is going to put drywall up. Maybe the homeowner will install a mirror. Maybe they'll put towel bars or other racks. And a lot of times when people are hanging things, they're aiming for studs to get a solid connection. And what a requirement of the code is to install these nail plates so that nobody installing any of those things punctures any of these pipes and that they're protected from damage. The requirement of these is they have to extend 2 inches past the pipe so that it's completely protected. And they're made of 16 gauge steel. We just call them in the field nail plates. But that's another important section of the code so that nobody causes leaks or damage to this plumbing system. We're gonna go to Mike. He's gonna talk, I believe, about insulation. Good.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Codes Clips. We're out here at a new construction home. We're talking insulation today. As you can see, we got a 2x6 framed wall here in this new construction house. And the contractor chose to go with a batted insulation with a backing on it. In this particular instance, he used R21, which meets the code requirement. And he also has the backing from the insulation facing out to act like a vapor barrier, which are two things that we're looking for. Make sure the house is comfortable for the new owners. Another thing when we come out to these particular ones that we're looking at is the attic. And obviously, if you want to take a look, we don't have any insulation up there right now. But we want to keep the contractor moving with their drywall. So if you remember earlier in the season with Code Clips, we had Sam up in the attic. And that's what the contractor is going to end up doing. He's going to blow in insulation and complete a R49 insulation level, which anywhere between 11 and 19 inches of blown in insulation up there, depending on the material. So those are a couple of things we're looking at for insulation out on new construction houses. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in below, and we'll try and get back to you.
Hello, I'm Tyler Fairchild. I'm the Park and Rec Manager for Silver Spring Township. Part of my responsibility is playground inspections, which I am a certified playground inspector for the township here. So what we do periodically, we come out and examine our playground equipment to make sure that it is in good standing. And a couple things that we look for, right, is railings to make sure that they're secure, there's no loose hardware to them. The same with the platforms, make sure everything's nice and tight. All the ancillary stuff like the bell here, the steps, we make sure everything is good to go. On the slides, we look at the transition points to make sure there's nothing that could cause a strangulation, which, it's nice and flush, so nothing's going to happen there. And we also inspect the plastic of the equipment to make sure that there's no deep gouges or anything that could cut a user of the playground. And as they exit the slide, we make sure there's no objects that could interfere with the exit. Also, we check our surface. We make sure we have plenty of surface material at all the exit points and around the equipment. And each year, part of our maintenance schedule is to actually put a new layer of surface material on each year for our playgrounds. And then lastly, we also check out the swing sets. We make sure that there's no missing chains, damaged chains. We look at the seat themselves to make sure that none of the rubber is cut and that could cause harm to anybody. And then lastly, we just take a look around at the overall park, make sure that there's no trash or any debris that needs to be picked up. We check for any downed trees, limbs, any broken benches. So we do a thorough look through of all of our parks and all of our equipments to make sure that it is safe for the township residents and any users of our playground. So thanks for joining us today on Codes Clips here at Silver Spring Township, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.